IP address system. The IP address is a logical address, and to assign this logical address, we need the physical address. We need the physical address. Okay, and the physical address is nothing but the MAC address, but the hardware address. The popularly MAC address. Okay, media access controller. What is called as popular MAC address? Yeah, called as media access controller. Okay, and one more thing, we have one definition. What is binding means assigning an IP address to the MAC address is called binding. So, based on this, suppose if you want to assign IP address to system here, and if you want to open the system here, how to assign the IP address, we'll just check it out. The password is 7. Now, if you want to check the IP address of the system here, is the command that is used, if config space -a. So when you go for if config space -a here, this is LO0, this is nothing but my loopback address. This is my loopback address. And even 00000 is called as my MAC address. Nothing but LAN card. Means LAN card, Ethernet card, which is also called as NIC card. Okay. When you go for Windows here, the name will be like this, like your LAN card like this. But when you come to your Solaris here, it is in your Intel architecture, it is identified as E10000, and then when you go for Spark architecture, it is identified as like a HME0. Spark architecture is HME0. Means depends on the architecture, it changes. Depends on the architecture, it changes here. Okay. So if you, and to my system here, I have an IP address here. What my IP address is 192.168.100. And if you want to check the status of the IP address, the status of the IP address is up condition. I can communicate with the system only when the IP address is in up condition. Only when the IP address is in up condition here. Okay. For example, if you want to communicate with the system here, we can use this command called ping. Ping stands for packet internet gopher. Packet internet gopher. Ping an IP address 192.168.1.100. Okay. What is saying that? That 1.100 is alive, means you have a communication with the system here. Why? Because that's why we are able to communicate with the system here. But if you down the IP address here, you can see it here, if config E1 000 down. So when you down this IP address here, then the status of the IP address will be down condition, in which we cannot communicate with the system now. Now you can see it here, that IP address is in down condition. Let me communicate with the system here. Ping like 192.168.1.100. Okay, you can see it here. What is saying that the ICMP is, the system is unreachable. Why? Because the IP address is in down condition. If you want to bring back the IP address here, if config E10000, the NIC card name and up. Okay, then see here, if config space like your -a, you can see the status is up condition here. Then I can again communicate with the system here, and the status will be up again. This will be alive. Oh. Up condition, and then test the communication. What the command to test the communication? Ping. What is it? Allow. Okay. And you can see it here, this is my NIC card. If you want to unconfigure these NIC cards, means if you want to unconfigure entire NIC card hardware address here, so then we can use this command if config like your E1 000G0 like your unplumb. If config E1 000G0 unplumb. What this is used to? This is used to unconfigure the NIC card. Okay, means there is the NIC card will not be there now. One, what happened? I think that might be stuck here. You can see it here, like if config hyphen a. You can see this IP address my system 192.168.1.2. Let me increase the font size. In my system, IP address is 1.2. If you want to unconfigure the NIC card here, if config E1 000G0 like your unplumb, unplumb. Sorry, it should be only 3 zeros. Okay, when you unplumb this one here, and if you want to verify here, like a if config space hyphen a, then you can see. Do you have any NIC cards? There is no LAN card here. Now, if you want to reconfigure it here, then the command will be if config NIC card name and plumb. Now, when you plumb it here, the card will be reconfigured. When the card is reconfigured, if you check the IP address here, then you can see it here. The LAN card is back. The LAN card is back here, but the IP address status is it's not showing up here. And first of all, there is no IP address. So when you do the fresh installation without assigning IP address here, it looks like this. Now from here in this position here, I need to assign an IP address. I need to assign an IP address. So if you want to assign an IP address here, how can you assign an IP address here? It's like this, like a if config, like a E1, if E1 000G0 IP address. For example, 192.168.1.2, then up. Means I am assigning one IP address here 1.2 and bringing the state of IP address to up condition here. So if config space hyphen a, you can see my IP address is 1.2 and the status of my IP address is up condition. Okay, right. Now the thing is you have an IP address. In a similar way, if you want to check the host name here, like your host name is a command we choose to check the host name. Okay, suppose if the host name is not there, if you want to assign a host name here, it's like this. Your host name like your Solaris 2. It is a command which used to assign a host name. The point is when you assign a host name and IP address, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. If you want to make it permanent here, we need to edit 3 files. When you assign a host name and IP address, it's only temporary. If you want to make it permanent, we need to edit 3 files. The first file is vi space / etc / host. The first file is space / etc / host. Right? In this file, I need to specify like this IP address as well as the host name here. So what the IP address of my system is 1.2 and my host name is like your Solaris 2. Okay. Suppose if you want to give the information of other system also, you can give the information of other system also like this, like a 192.168.1.100. What other system host name is? I don't know. That is SOLVCS1. The host name is SOLVCS1. Then save the file and exit. What the main purpose of this file /e/host is, it used to convert a name to IP address or IP address to name. It is to convert a name to IP address or IP address to name. So the main purpose of this file, that is vi//host, is to convert a name, used for name, is to convert a name with IP address or IP address with name. Means it's like this: a ping 192.168.1.2 1.2. Yes, I'm liable to communicate. But instead of this host name, I would like to, instead of this IP address, I want to communicate with the host name. So I want to communicate with the host name, ping system name like this. But this happens here only when the enter is in //vfs tab here. 1 minute. vi space /etc/host here. When you go for //host here, for these two files, escape I'll place a comment here, and for this one Solaris here, I'll place a comment here. When you place a comment here, what happens here? It's not a meaningful line. Means the lines will not work here. So when I try to test the communication with the host name now, it should not happen. See this, like a ping Solaris 2, Solaris 2. What is saying that? Unknown host. Otherwise ping uh, Sol VCS1, unknown host. So if you want to have a communication with the host names here, then what happens, we require this file. What the file is? vi space //host here. Then remove the entries now. Yes, you can communicate with the host name. Okay, first one. Then the second file. So the first file is vi space //host here, and the second file is vi space /etc/ like a host name, dot the NIC card. What my NIC card name is? E10000 here. Now in this file, we need to specify the IP address of the system, IP address or host name of the system here. What my host name is? sys2. What my host name is? sys2. Then save the file and exit. And we need to edit one more file here. One more file is vs space your /etc/ like a node name. When you go for /node name here, again you can see it here. What there here? The host name. So when you edit these three files, then the IP address becomes permanent. Otherwise it is temporary. Otherwise it is temporary. And one more thing, like if config space -a, for every IP address here we have a LAN card. There is this E10000, and to one LAN card, not only one, we can assign multiple IP address. We can assign multiple IP address here. So I have a LAN card E10000. I have an IP address here. What IP address is 192.168.1.2? Okay. Not only one IP address here, we can assign multiple IP address to your system here, and those addresses are called as virtual IP address. Those are called as virtual IP address here. And if you want to assign a virtual IP address here, there is a command. See here, like a if config E10000. Okay, then add if IP address like 192.168. For example, 1 dot like 20 and up. 20 and up here. So when you go for this one here, when you execute this command if config space -a, you can see E10000. For this, yeah, this is my IP address here 192.168.1.20, and what the status of my IP address is up condition. The status of my IP address is up condition here. So then I can communicate with the system now here. So if you want to communicate with the system here, what the address will be ping like a 192.168.1.20. Okay, you can see the status is alive. Suppose if you want to remove the IP address here, it's like this, like a if config like a E10000 IP address 1 minute, remove if like a 192.168.1.20 and down. That's it. No need to go specify the down here. Simply remove if and IP address. if config space -a is gone, right? Now the IP address is gone here, means it's only if you want to make it permanent here, we can edit one file va space your slash etc slash, it's like this, like your host name dot e10000 colon 1. Edit this file and simply specify the IP address there. So when you specify the IP address, then even that becomes permanent. Okay. So like this we can assign an IP address, and we can communicate between two different systems here. I have one more system here. I want to communicate with the system 192.168.1.100. Yes. Okay. What is saying that? Host unreachable. Why? I think the IP address is we have unconfigured now. So if config space -a, there is no NIC card. What you have to do? First, we need to plumb it. Plumb it. And let me assign the IP address now here. If config e1 triple zero g zero IP address 192.168.1 dot for example 1 dot 100 and up. Okay, if you check it out now, if config -a, the IP address should be 1.100. Now I should be able to communicate with the system ping to system to ping 192.168.1.2. Oi. Let me check my network settings. Okay, NAT, NAT, fine. In the second machine, NAT, NAT, fine. Everything is fine. If config -a, sure, you can see it here. The IP address is not in up condition. Okay, if config e1 triple zero g0 192.168.1.2 and up. Now if you check it out, the IP address, what status is 1 dot up condition. Now ping 192.168.1.100 is alive. Then in a similar way, from this system here, like ping 192.168.1.2 is alive. So now I have a communication with both your systems here. Now when I communicate with both the systems here, now if you want to log in from one system to other system here, to log in from one system to other system here, we can use the protocols. What do you use? Protocols, networking protocols. So we have different types of networking protocols here. For example here, telnet, rlogin, telnet, rlogin. We have RCP, RSH, rlogin, RCP, RSH, SCP, and SSH like this. So how this protocol works here, how to log in from one system to other system by using these protocols will verify. So for that, let me create few users here. Like for example, in system 1, let me create one user. Like a user add -d your slash export slash home slash export slash home slash siva -m siva. Okay. One user is created by name Shiva, then password, like your password. Oh, 1 minute. Shiva and login and password. I'll give you password as sun123, then sun123. I have user one name Shiva, in which is created in system 1, the password is sun123. Now see, I'm into system 2 here. I'm into system 2, but I created the user in system 1. From system 2, I want to log into system 1. For that, I can use telnet protocol. So what the protocol is telnet. The full form is terminal emulator. What the full form is? Terminal emulator. See this? Networking protocols. First one is telnet. Terminal emulator. Okay. This protocol allows you to log in from one system to another, okay, in a heterogeneous environment, where heterogeneous means a combination of Windows plus Unix. When you have combination of Windows plus Unix here, that is called as heterogeneous environment. Okay, and it needs the user login name and password to log into the system. It needs the username and password to log into the system. The next here, it works on a port number 23. It works on a port number 23. A very simple scenario here. For example, I am system 2. I would like to log into system 1. So 192.168.1.100 is my system IP address. From system 2, I would like to log into system 1. So what IP address is 192.168.1.100. Okay, enter. It'll ask me the login name. What the login name? I created one user by name Siva here. So login name is Siva and password here. What the password is sun123. Okay. So now from system 2, I'm logging to system 1 as a login name here. What the login name is sun123. Then you can see now who am I? Who am I? My name is your Siva user here. Like your if config space -a. Can you read this address? Okay. Why? Because here is a normal user. Normal user cannot execute this ifconfig command here. That's why we're not able to see that here. But if you want the user to execute ifconfig -a command here, then yesterday what we discussed about RBAC, role-based access control. By using role-based access control, we need to assign him the privileges so that he can log in. So you can see it here. I logged in from system to system 1 by using the protocol. What the protocol is? Telnet. So what is telnet stands for? Terminal emulator. This protocol allows you to log in from one system to another in a heterogeneous environment, but it needs a login name and password. The next, R login, where R login stands for remote login. R login stands for remote login here. What the importance of this R login is, we can log in from one system to other system, right? We can log in from one system to another system in a homogeneous environment. R login supports only homogeneous environment. It doesn't support heterogeneous environment. It does not support heterogeneous environment. It supports only the homogeneous environment. See, this protocol allows you to log in, from one system to another in a homogeneous environment, homogeneous environment. Okay, and for this protocol to work, we need a trust relationship, yeah. And once a trust relationship is established, it's unsecured. It is unsecured. Okay, so you have to be very careful here. So let us see this one here. Like, let me come out. Yeah, exit. Okay, and this is my system 2, and this is my system 1. Okay, so I want to log in from one system to other system without any prompt of password. Means I have system 2 admin user. I want the system 2 admin user to log into system 1 without any prompt of password. So for that, I need to have create a trust relationship. Okay, so if you want to create a trust relationship, it's like this: a va space dot r hosts, va space dot r host here. So when you go for va space dot r host here, in this va space dot r host file here, I'm giving permission to one system here, which system is like a Solaris 2, and the username. What the username is root. For example, in Solaris 2 here, I have different users, but I'm giving only permission to only one user. Which user? Like a root user of sys2. Means the root user of sys2 can log into my system 1 without any prompt of password. Without any prompt of password. But from system 1, I cannot log into system 2. Why? Because at present it is one-way trust relationship. From system 2 he can log into system 1. From system 1 he cannot log into system 2. Why? Because it's one way. We created trust only in one node here. Other node we have not yet created relationship. Suppose if you go to system 2, if you system 2, and if you want to get you can create relationship here. So va space dot r host. When you go for va space dot r host here, and simply we can specify here what are the system name is, like a sol vcs1, and the username. What the username is, like a root. So I given permissions to the root user of other system here. Okay, then save the file and exit. Means I created a trust relationship between two users of administrator users of both the system. Means I created admin to admin trust relationship here. Now you can see from system 2 I can log into system 1. So how can you log in? Or login or login sol vcs2. 1 minute. It's showing as unknown host. Oh sorry, it's sol vcs1. Network unreachable. Ping 192.168.1.100 connection. Here also we need to have the host names. 1 minute. Sol vcs1 va space slash etc slash host sol vcs1 escape4 escape I 192.168.1.2, and what the system name is, like a sol2, sol vcs1. So come here, ping sol vcs1 unreachable. See here, small mistake. The number is 192. Okay, it's only 92. It should be 192. Now see that sol vcs1 is alive. Now see this r login, then sol vcs1. Enter. You should not ask for any password. You can see there is set. From system 2, I logged into system 1 without any prompt of password, that to root account. Why? Because if you create a relationship here, and that user can log into my system, and my root user can log into his system here, and is not secured. They may destroy the data, they may do anything here. Okay. The next, see, I want to give a permission to a specific user here. So you want to give a permission to a specific user here, then how to do that? 1 minute. See, I have one user in Solaris 1, right? I want that user to log into my Solaris 2 root user. I want to log in from Solaris 1. I want the user to log into my root user. So what happens here? In my system 2, we edit this file va space.rhost file. Then Solaris 1, what the username is? The username is like your Siva. Give that username. Okay, SIVA. That's it. Save the file and exit. What do you mean by this? The user from that system, he can log into my root account of this system here without any prompt of password. Okay, now let us see that. Like, let me go to this your Solaris 1 here. I should be able to log into system to root account here. So if you want to log into the root account of system here, who has a permission? Only the normal user has a permission. What the normal username is? Siva. Telnet 0, where 0 is to allows you to log into local system, right? And the login name is your Siva, and the password is like a sun123. So you can see it here, like a who am I? Who is this user is? The username is Shiva. Now from this system, I should be able to log into that system of which one? Administrator user here. So for this, our login hyphen L your root, login hyphen L root. Why? Because root has given the privilege here. So our login hyphen L, I'll try to log into root account of which system? Solaris 2. Our login hyphen L root of Solaris 2. Enter. Okay, not on system console, connection closed. When you're going for this, when you have this command here, not on system console connection closed, means it's one thing. If you want the root user to log in from one system to other system here, if you want the root user to log in from one system to other system here, we need to modify the one file here, va space slash etc slash default slash login. We have one security file called slash default slash etc slash login. In this file here, we have one line called console is equal to slash dev slash console. If there is no command, root user cannot log in. If you want the root user to log in here, we need to place a command to this line. Okay. So when you come down here, you can see console slash data console. There is no command here. That's why he's not able to log in. So if you want to allow him to log in here, place a command here. That's it. Then save the file and exit. Now come down and try it again. Go to system 1 and try it again to log into system 2. Okay, what the command is? rlogin hyphen l root of Solaris 2. Enter. Can you see? I successfully logged in. Data stage. From system 1, a normal user is able to log into your system 2 root user. Okay, is it secured? This is not secured. It is not secured. Hence, this protocol is always kept in disable mode. Hence, these protocols are always kept in disable mode. The let me give to root trust relationship. If you want to give root to root trust relationship here, what the command is? va space dot r host here, right? See, I given invitation to this user Siva here, but I don't want to give the invitation to Siva. I want to give the invitation to only one user. That is called as root user here. So for that, escape xxx, then escape I. The root name is root. Then, so means root user can log in from one system to other system without any prompt of password here. The next, RCP. RCP, which stands for remote copy. This protocol allows you to copy the data from one system to another without uh, any prompt of password. Okay, but for this protocol to work, we need a trust relationship. But for this protocol to work, we need a trust relationship. It is unsecured. It is unsecured, hence kept in disabled mode. Let us see how it works. Assume that this is my system. This is my system one. I'll create one. I have one directory like mkdir, for example, /gold. I have one directory by name gold here. Let me go to this gold directory and create some data there. cd space /gold and create some files here. Like for example, 01, 02, 03, 04, and like your 05, 06, 07, 08. I have 8 files here in my gold directory. Now, let me go to system 2. Now, I have the gold directory in system 1. Okay. Now, ls. Do you have the directory here, gold directory? Now, we don't have any directory by name G here. So I like to copy that from this system to this system here. So RCP space -r in 192.168.1.100. One directory is there, gold. Bring it to my root directory. Bring it to my root directory. ls. You got it here? Yes. So if you want to copy the data from one system to other system here, we can use this protocol. The protocol is RCP. Okay. The next we have RSH. RSH means remote shell. RSH means remote shell. Suppose if you want to execute a command on the remote system. For example, just now what you done, you have copied one directory by name gold from which system? From system 1 to system 2 here. So ls, 1 minute, cd and ls. You should have a gold directory here. Can you see? You have gold directory. In which system is the gold directory? Is in your system 1 here. Previously copied the directory from system 1 to system 2 here, but from system 2 I want to remove the directory which is present in system 1. For that, RSH in 192.168.1.100 like a rm space -rf /gold. See, without any it's not asking for any password. Why? Because we have a trust relationship here. I remove the directory called gold which is present in system 1 here. So when you go there and when you type ls command here, so previously we should have one directory called gold. Previously we have one directory called gold here, but after removing the command, when I type ls command, the directory was not available here. Okay, so like this we can delete a directory. Okay, so what is RSH used to? What the purpose of RSH is? The purpose of RSH is to execute a command on the remote system here. RSH, a remote shell. This protocol allows you to execute the commands on the remote shell. This protocol allows you to execute the command on the remote shell. Okay, and this requires a trust relationship. This requires trust relationship and is unsecured. And it is unsecured. So these protocols here, RLogin, RSH, and RCP, both the protocols require trust relationship and they are not secured here. Hence, these protocols are replaced with SSH and SCP. Notes here. The protocol, like RLogin, your RSH, your RCP are not secured and hence are not secured and requires your trust relationship. Are not secured and requires trust relationship. Hence these protocols are kept in disabled mode. Okay, instead of these protocols, some other protocols are used. They are like SSH and SCP. Some other protocols are used. They are SSH and SCP. So what is SSH and what is SCP? See here, SSH means your secured shell. Secure shell. This protocol replaces RLogin and RSH, and can perform all the tasks that the above RLogin and RSH can do. Can perform all of the analysis to do here. And it is secure, and it is secure. That is without the password we cannot perform any task. If we need, then we can make like a password less configuration also. We can make passwordless configuration also. Okay, and this protocol does not require a trust relationship. Okay, but we need to configure it. And make some changes so that it can work smoothly. Okay, the thing is, SSH is fine, we're good, it's secured, but we need to make some modifications here. Why? Because by default root user is not able to log in by using SSH protocol. Root user is not able to log in by using SSH protocol. And one more thing, the protocol will be in disabled state. So we need to enable it and we need to use it here. So if you want to allow the root user to log in by SSH protocol here, so we need to edit this file. That is vi space /etc /sshd underscore config. Vi space /etc /sshd underscore config. When you go for this particular file here, go to approximately line number 116. When you go to line number 116, you can see here is a line. Let me check it out. The line number SCNU. When you go for so line number 128. Line number 128. When you go to line number 128 here, you can see the option is permit root login is no. So we need to modify it to yes. So delete it, escape I, and permit root login. What option is yes? So modify the line permit root login to yes here. Okay, and sometimes here permit empty password. Sometimes we may not have passwords here, and modify this line also here. Permit empty passwords as yes. Okay, permit root login and permit empty passwords. Then save the file and exit. And check the status of the service here. What status? If you want to check the status of the service here, how do you check the status? The command uses svcs. So svcs space hyphen a pipe grep then ssh. So when you go for svc hyphen a pipe grep ssh here, you can see the status is online. Sometimes it may be in disabled state. Let me disable it here. svc adm disable that protocol. Which protocol? ssh. svc adm disable, ssh to disable, and if you check it out here, you can see there it is disabled state. Suppose if it is disabled state, we need to enable it here. How to enable svcadm? You enable your ssh. If you want to enable or disable any service, the command uses svcadm. svcadm disable service name to disable a service. svcadm enable and service name, which used to enable a service here. Okay, right. Do the same steps in node 2 also here. So when you go for node 2 here, like a va space your slash etc slash ssh slash sshd underscore config underscore config, right? And go to line number. What the line number is? 128, and permit root login. It should be modified to as yes. Yes. In a similar way, we have empty passwords. Modify this also to yes here. Save the file and exit. And once enable the service. svcadm enable ssh. That's it. Suppose if you want to disable ssh, and what this is to enable ssh. Disable and enable. Okay. Right. Now SSH is enabled here. What is SSH is to allow to log in from one system to other system here. So we can log in as normal user or we can log in as root user also. Suppose here if you want to log in as your root user here, very simple SSH into which system you have to log in here, like your Sol VCS1. If you don't specify anything, login name, anything here, then what happens is directly considered as root user. So yes, it will ask for the password here. What the password is? Sun. That's it. You can see it now here. Into which system you are logged in? We are logged in from system 2 to like a system 1. Okay. Then exit. Now I want to log in as a normal user. So if you want to log in as normal SSH, the username at the rate of a system IP address. What IP address is 192.168.1.100. We can specify the system IP address or we can specify the system name also here. So when can you use system name? Only when the entry there in your file. What the file is //4, then only you can use the system name. Otherwise system IP address is used here. Enter and password. And the password is like a sun123. See that you're logged in. Okay. Now in a similar way, In similar, we have SSH here. We have SCP, where SCP stands for secured copy. We have RCP. In place of RCP, we use SCP here. And one more thing here, SSH and SCP works on like a port number 22. SCP. SCP stands for like a secured copy. This protocol replaces RCP, and it is secured, and it is secured, and it is secured, and does not require your trust relationship. Does not require trust relationship. See here. Again, previously I will created one directory there. In the similar way, from system 1, I will go to system 1. I will create one directory. I will copy from system 2 to system 1. So, sorry. SSH solve VCS1 means logging as root user into which system? VCS1. Password is sun. And you can execute what the things you want to execute here. Like for example, if you want to create a directory, you can create a directory. Otherwise, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Watching it. mkdir slash imp data means very important data you have here. Like then cd space slash like your imp data and create some files here. Touch i1, i2, i3. Okay. Then come back to this Solaris 2. Exit. I am system 2. I like to copy that IMP data which is present in system 1 to system 2. So ls, you don't have any IMP data here. So what the command is scp space -r like in 192.168.1.100 colon slash here IMP data copy to my root. Okay, it's asking for the password sun. See that all the copies the data is copied from this system. And if you want to execute a command on the remote system here, SSH, like for example in 192.168.1.100, in 192.168.1.100 here, and what command I want to use, like if config space hyphen a. Oh, sorry, I'll check the host name here. Host name should show as sol vcs1. Password, what the password is, sun. So that exchange all this. So like this we can execute and perform these protocols. Okay, so I'll stop here for today, and tomorrow we'll start the file servers. So we have three different types of file servers. One is your FTP, NFS and Samba. So one day one file server. FTP is smaller here, but NFS and this Samba is your big server